Hello my scholars, welcome to my school channel. My name is Alexandra. In today's video lesson, we'll be looking at the conjunction as one of the parts of speech. Okay, we'll be exploring the types of conjunction we have and various examples. Please stay with us, do not go anywhere, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school channel. So right now, let's begin the lesson. Today's topic will be looking at the conjunction. We'll be looking at two objectives for today's lesson. We'll be looking at the definition of a conjunction, and lastly, we'll look at the types of conjunction and examples. So let's begin with the first objective, the definition of a conjunction. But then before we proceed to the definition, we need to understand some terms or some terminologies to better understand the topic for today's lesson, the conjunction. So what are these terminologies? A phrase, a clause, a dependent clause, an independent clause. Now you need to understand these terminologies because I'll be using them in the explanation of today's topic. Now I'm going to keep it short and brief just for this course. Now what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words that do not have a verb. So it's a group of words that do not have a verb, and so therefore it's a part of a sentence. Okay, we know a sentence is a word with a subject, the verb, and the object. So it will make complete sense. But a phrase is a group of words. It could be two, it could be three, but do not have a verb. Okay, so example, you can say the boy. You can say after the rain. You can say a book. So these are examples of phrases. Okay, we have 2 word, 3 word, 2 word phrase. Okay, these are a group of words that do not have a verb. Now let's take a look at the next terminology, a clause. Now a clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. Do not forget, phrase do not have a verb. It can have a subject but do not have a verb. Now a clause is a group of words that have a subject and a verb. However, a clause may make sense, okay, may be complete on its own, and also may not be complete on its own. Okay, now let me explain this with a sentence. Now this is a sentence. Now I said a clause can make sense on its own and may not make sense also. Okay, it can stand on its own, it can be complete in itself, and also it can be part of a sentence. Okay, so let's look at this sentence. You must work hard so you can be successful. This is a sentence, however, I have divided into 2. Now you must work hard. You see that it is complete in itself. Imagine someone walking up to you and says you must work hard. Okay, it's meaningful. But when someone walks up to you and says so you can be successful, you feel it's not complete. Okay, so it's a part of something. So a clause can be a part of something and can stand on its own. So this is a clause, clause 1, this is clause 2. This is clause 1, this is a clause 2. So it can be complete in itself and also can be a part of a sentence. So let's look at the similarities between a phrase and a clause. They are both group of words, okay? But this one is always a part of a sentence. It doesn't make sense. It's always going to be a part of a sentence. But a clause can be a part of a sentence and it can be complete on its own. Now this brings us to the type of clause, okay, that we have. A dependent clause and an independent clause. Now let's take the terminology, the most important terminology in this phrase, dependence. Okay, what is dependent? Okay, what is depend? Let's take it from the word depend. When you say you depend on someone, you rely on someone. Okay, you cannot stand alone. Think of a child relying on his mother to feed or to clothe. To be dependent, to rely. Independent is to be on your own, to be able to do things on your own. Now, this definition will help you understand a dependent clause and independent clause. So we think of a dependent clause as something that cannot stand on its own, cannot make complete sense on its own. It's a part of a sentence. While an independent clause is a clause that can stand on its own, can make sense on its own. In itself, it is complete. So we think of this as an independent clause. Let me use ID, okay? An independent clause, and we think of this as a dependent clause. Okay, having established this, I'm sure, I'm convinced now that we can move further. Okay, so independent clause and dependent clause. The independent clause is also called main, and this is also called subordinate. Okay, so these are the synonymous words for them. Okay, we call it main clause or subordinate clause. We call it independent clause or dependent clause. Now let's move to the lesson proper. Definition of a conjunction. Now, what is a conjunction? Now, a conjunction is a word that joins a phrase, a clause, or group of words together. So a conjunction is a word that joins words, phrases, clauses together. So a conjunction is a word that joins two words or phrases or group of words. You know, I said the similarity between phrases and clauses is that they are both group of words. So a conjunction is a word that joins two words or a group of words together. Okay, that is a conjunction. Example: and, but, if, or, so, etc. Okay, so we have several examples of conjunctions: so that, since, unless, because, and so on and so forth. Now let's take a look at the sentence. I want to eat. I want to read. I can join these two sentences together using and. I want to read and I want to eat. Okay, so you have I want to eat and I want to read and eat. So I have joined the two structure together using and. So I want to read and eat. So sometimes conjunction is used to reduce the length of a sentence. Okay, that's one function of a conjunction. Okay, so we have seen the use of and in a sentence as a conjunction. Now let's move to the types of conjunction we have. Now let's move to the visual display. I have listed 3 types of conjunction. So we'll start with the first type of conjunction, which is coordinating conjunction. Okay, so now what is coordinative conjunction, or what are coordinative conjunctions? Now these conjunctions join words or group of words that have equal status or weight. Group of words that have equal status or weight. They are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. These are all the examples of coordinating conjunctions. And in English, we can use the acronym FANBOYS. So for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. These are all the examples of coordinating conjunction. Do not forget that these words are used to join a group of words that have similar status. Now let's take a look at this example. He is handsome. He is well-mannered. the same structure: subject, verb, and then adjective. And we have joined it with and, having only the adjective after and. So he is handsome and well-mannered. All of these examples are used to join words or group of words that are of equal status or weight. Do you want pepperoni or margherita on your pizza? Okay, so, or do you want pepperoni on your pizza? Do you want margherita on your pizza? Okay, so these are the examples in a sentence. Now, we also have other types of conjunction. Do not forget I said we have 3 types of conjunction, or I've provided 3 types of conjunction for the course of this lesson. We'll be talking about the second and the third in a special video I have provided for you. All you need to do is you click on the link in the description below. It takes you to the My School website. There you'll be required to subscribe. Please go ahead and subscribe so that these video lessons will be available to you. Thank you for joining this lesson. Do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly, tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.